What's going on YouTube? This is Max coming back at you once again with another video. This time I'm doing a comparison video between the Sony A9F and the Sony A90J. If you like this type of video, if you could do me a favor by hitting that like button and that subscribe button if you like this type of content. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the video. So if you look to the left, I have the Sony A9F and on the right is the Sony A90J. The first thing that I have noticed when I was doing this comparison is that on the Sony A90J is the actual brightness and the actual detail when playing Ghost of Tsushima on the PlayStation 5. Now on the Sony A9F, while I have this TV and it's been a very great TV, but looking at the Sony A90J, it is definitely an improvement compared to my Sony A9F. One thing that I have noticed, which the camera doesn't really give you a very good depiction, but from looking at the comparison, if you look at the shadow detail and the actual dimensions of the Sony A90J, it is a wonderful thing to see. On the Sony A9F, the crazy part is that I don't notice this when I see this in person, but I actually see some black crush detail on the Sony A9F compared to the Sony A90J. When I look at the Sony A90J, it was so much detail that I noticed for the first time that I just didn't see on the Sony A9F, and I think it's a lot to do with its new panel and the heatsink and the new XR processor. And just looking at both of them, it just the Sony A90J, they did a good job. Sony really has done a very good job when it comes to the picture quality. Now, just like how I mentioned before, I took this on my Sony ZV-1 camera. So looking at the right, you might see a lot of things kind of like blown out, but that's not how I see it in person. It's just the camera itself is not really able to really capture the light or the brightness from this TV. I was trying to do the best I can, but this is what I was able to get. But just looking at the details between both pictures, especially when it comes to the shadow detail of the game and the character's armor to the actual detail, you could see how a great improvement on what Sony has done for this year's TV, the A90J Master Series. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and drop off and just show you with this comparison. The next thing I'm also going to do is I'm going to do the comparison with the TV sound system between the Sony A9F and the A90J, just to give you guys just a depiction of how the sound quality is between both TVs. One thing I forgot to tell you is that on both TVs I am using the custom mode. So if you guys are serious and want to know what my settings are, I am using custom.
Outsiders! Send your finest warrior to face me! Nada, Jinnida. I am Harunobu Adachi, descendant of the legendary Yoshinobu Adachi.
Deserve no mercy.
No mercy! Open fire! Call Tsushima! Charge! Outside!
Nara, Kindina.
I am Haru Nobuadachi, descendant of the legendary Yoshinobu Adachi.
Samurai! Do you surrender? Cowards without honor deserve no mercy. No
So I also did a comparison with Transformers. Well, excuse me, Bumblebee movie, and then I also did a little bit of Infinity War for everyone to take a look at. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. But one thing I really can't say, I only had this TV close to a week, and I am just blown away about the A90J. He said, I honestly can't believe how good this TV is. It's just the specular highlights that stood out to me right away. But the more I watch, the more I'm noticing other brightness enhancements. Outside daytime scene looks so much more lifelike and punchy, and whites have a piercing quality to them that looks so authentic. So they honestly need to see in person to believe. If you look at the comparison shots between both TVs, you can see on the right hand side, just looking at Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, that you could just see so much more detail when it comes to shadow and specular highlights, and just overall just dimension when it comes to the Sony A9J. When you look at Infinity War, you could also just see how Thanos looks on the TV. So what do you guys think about the comparison between the Sony A9F and the A90J? One thing I do want to mention to everyone too is that with the A90J speaker quality, I did have it in the bedroom, and then my Sony A9F is in my living room. So the sound differences, you may sound that the Sony A9F is a little bit better, but in my opinion, it's kind of hard to really capture everything on the camera. But on the Sony A90J that's in the bedroom right now, with the same sound settings, because I had the same sound settings on both TVs, I felt that the Sony A90J was a lot more, it had a lot more bass. The sound was very clear. I got that with the Sony A9F, but the only difference is, in my opinion, is the bass is a lot more punchier when it came to the bass. Now, another thing I think people are probably going to ask me, I do use my Sony A9F as a center speaker. So the whole TV is my center speaker. I have a 5.2 surround sound in the living room right now. And I did post a couple of videos of my installing speakers. I got the Bowers and Wilkins 663s if anybody is interested. And I have my Sony as Sony A9F as my center speaker. It sounds good to me. The only reason I'm really using it as a speaker is because one is just space wise with the living room, and just with the aesthetic wise, that was like the best choice we have, and that was one of the driving pieces of why I wanted to get that TV so much. And the sound just sounds great, but the A90J, as in the differences, is you could definitely hear it. You could definitely hear the difference, especially just that bass presence. I just know it's kind of interesting because my wife and I, we was watching some show on Netflix, and one thing is that we had to constantly turn down the volume because you could hear the sound going throughout the whole entire second floor. And so we didn't want to wake up my daughter, and that was just one thing that we had to constantly turn down the volume, and we had to put it around probably like 5 or 6 if I'm 6 or 7 on that particular show that we was watching. So that gives you a little bit of depiction of how great the sound is. Now, I will say it doesn't replace a sound bar. And it doesn't replace a traditional surround home theater system, because I have a traditional home theater system, and it's not going to replace that. But if people are using this for just for TV speakers, and depending on their living situation and space wise, it sounds great. The TV speaker sounds is one of the best sounding TV speakers that I ever heard since my Sony A9F, and just by listening to them, it's really good. Also, too, I did mention about my settings too. So the Sony A90J, I didn't tweak anything with the settings. Everything was just standard when it comes to the custom. Now my Sony A9F, it has been calibrated it was on Custom Pro 2. So that's one thing I do want to mention to everyone too. Like, certain colors look a little bit better on the Sony A9F, but looking at the Sony A90J with the presets that they have right now, it looks really, really good. And just like I just want to make sure I drive this home to everyone too, that once I probably get it calibrated, hopefully soon, probably next month or so, I would definitely do another comparison video. But just looking at it coming out of the presets with that, it's a really good TV and stuff. I hands down, so far I'm very pleased with it. So if people are in the market looking for this TV when it comes to movie content, TV content, this is a really good TV. When it comes to gaming, that's another discussion. But that's still not my review. I just want to give you guys just a comparison right now. I'm still doing some testing because I like to go through everything and give you another analysis. But I just want to show you a comparison video between both the Sony A9F and the A90J. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about it. Do you like this type of content? Shoot out a comment. Give me a thumbs up. If you want me to do more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you on the next one. And one more thing I forgot to mention before I end this video, if you guys have any question when it comes to settings, what settings that I'm using, I usually go on AVS forums. There's a forum dedicated for the Sony A90J, and this one person, and I do want to give him a shout out because this guy is phenomenal. Like I mentioned before, I'm not a professional calibrator, and by any means, so I'm not going to tell you what settings you should use, but that forum, AVS forum, is a lifesaver. And one person in particular that I do want to shout out is D Nice. D Nice has went over and beyond. Just want to give him a shout out. This guy has done everything when it comes to calibration and settings and stuff. So I have used his settings on my Sony A9F, and looking forward to using to my new TV. I just want to give him a shout out. I just want everybody to know about that too. And I will go ahead and post a link to the Sony A90J forum, and you'll see my name there too. I may make some comments here and there, but those guys on the ABS forum, they are smart. Like, they know the stuff when it comes to TV. So any questions or issues, I'll go ahead and link that at the bottom. Just had to give you just a FYI on that one. All right, take care.